Well, the U.S. Attorney's Office is launching a federal investigation into an Indianapolis police officer, and it's because of what he was caught doing on video. We do want to warn you, it is very disturbing. Body cam video shows a police sergeant stomping on a handcuffed man's face. Now, the officer already faces 2 felony charges in Indiana, but federal action could also be coming. NewsNation's Russ McQuaid with our Indianapolis station WXIN shows us how the police chief is now taking action.
You understand that?
Yeah, I'm not the one.
Jermaine Vaughn says he was exercising his First Amendment right to free speech on September 24th on Monument Circle, even if he says he was loud and talking to no one in particular. IMPD arrested Vaughn, who kept arguing with officers as one of them took him to the ground. Vaughn is on his backside on the ground with his hands cuffed behind his back, reads the probable cause affidavit. Sergeant Huxley then walks over to Vaughn, lifts his left leg, and drives his foot down into Vaughn's face, unquote.
We're not going to do this, right? Stop.
I have at least one of my officers that made a very poor choice and did something outrageous, and I'm going to recommend that he's terminated for that.
Another officer said Huxley told him, quote, "I was attempting to put my foot on his shoulder and I accidentally kicked him in the face," unquote.
The video in this particular case speaks for itself.
Marion County prosecutor Ryan Mears told me the body camera videos were key to filing criminal charges against Huxley. And IMPD Chief Randall Taylor said he has referred the case to the FBI and the U.S. Attorney for possible federal civil rights violations. Still, Chief Taylor wanted to make it clear that this video doesn't speak for how the department conducts itself.
Because I know these videos, when they're seen, there's going to be people that are going to say, that's what they're all like. Well, let me tell you, that's not what they're all like.
Back to you, Nichole.
All right, thank you for that, Russ. Well, certainly not what all police officers are like, but no surprise, the video struck a chord with the community. We are joined now live by Reverend Dr. Charles Harrison, board president of the Indianapolis 10-Point Coalition, and that group's goal is to use a boots-on-the-ground approach to cutting down on violence. Thank you so much for joining us, Reverend. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Now, that video is certainly hard to watch, seeing the officer kick Mr. Vaughn, and then particularly his reaction afterwards. He just kind of seemed stunned. Have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Vaughn, and how is he doing tonight?
No, I have not had a chance to speak to Mr. Vaughn, but I know it has really struck a chord with leaders all over the city of Indianapolis. We are very disturbed by what we have seen from this video, but yet we are pleased that the police chief swiftly took action, suspending the officer without pay and recommending that he be terminated to the merit board. So I think that speaks highly of the work that has been done with community leaders and law enforcement in Indianapolis to not tolerate this kind of behavior from officers in our city.
Well, in this next question I actually got, we posted this video online, and, people commented. Obviously, there are certainly different opinions on this, but there are some people who justify use of force by saying, well, people should just listen to what police officers say. But in this case, in spite of what may have transpired up until that point, he was already handcuffed. He was already on the ground. So how do you respond to that type of logic?
Well, that's just unacceptable for people to make that kind of conclusion that you have to listen to the officers. He was handcuffed. He was no threat to the officers, so there was no cause whatsoever for that officer to put his boot on that man's face like he did. That's just unacceptable. We don't, agree with people who make those assertions that he should have just listened to what the officer said. That kind of behavior is just not tolerated and acceptable.
And from what we heard from the chief there, Sergeant Huxley facing termination, criminal charges, possibly federal charges. What is, in your opinion, the ideal outcome in all of this?
Well, I think the system has to work, and certainly if, the feds determine that he violated Mr. Vaughn's civil rights, then certainly he should be held accountable for that.
And my last question for you, we did learn that the victim, Jermaine Vaughn, is apparently homeless. We did attempt to try to find some family members. We weren't unable to do that. Reverend, how did you decide to become involved in this case?
Well, I think all of us did. All of us who are a part of making sure that there is justice for all. In this particular case, so that we can provide and care for him, during this time of trauma for him.
Well, Reverend Dr. Charles Harrison, we appreciate you speaking with us, and thank you so much for your involvement. Thank you.